This episode of Cast to Craze is sponsored by Cast to Crazees, April 29th on Kickstarter. What's up, George? Who do we have on the show today?
What's up, Sam? We have Mr. Austin Aseuke of Comic Distro on the show, and we'll be talking to him about distribution.
Yes, so let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Cast the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your meds, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I am your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with...
George Medina, the dreamer.
Oh yeah, better stop acting up.
Woo! That's right, baby. I'm telling you, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to start just, flowing, doing my thing. But,
I never met a girl who makes me feel the way that you do. It's all right. Remember?
It's
Get
all right.
ready.
It's
Get
all
ready,
right.
cause here I come. Get ready, cause here I come. I'm on my way.
Welcome everybody. Jesus,
What the
this
hell's
guy over
that?
here is singing like crazy. Welcome everybody to another episode of Catch the Craze. It is a Tuesday episode, as we are April 20th is the date, and here we are. We're just bringing you this episode because why not? Why the heck not? We will be talking to Comic Distro, which is a new distribution channel for you independents, and maybe not just for independents. We'll talk to Austin Aseuke about it and get his thoughts on the process and why Comic Distro, right?
Yeah.
Why now? I mean, I think we know the answer to that, but it takes some guts to throw your hat into the ring of distribution, I guess. But
many have tried and many have failed, and we were distributed by we were in their catalogs back in the days, but they went belly up like right soon after. They didn't even last a year. What was it called? Haven, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we were in their catalogs the whole bit, and they were partners with Enemy Entertainment.
Right.
John Coates, yes, and they tried their hand at it, and so here he comes. He wants to. I guess he has it going, and I want to hear from him. So I did a show on the Crazy Channel Less. Well, here comes Comic Distro. My boy Tracy Alford hits me up. Yo, Sam, you check this out on Comic Distro, and I extended the invite. And just waiting for him to log on, and once he logs on, then we'll go from there. But everything started shifting when DC dropped Diamond, and then several months later, Marvel announces they're dropping Diamond and going with Random House Publishing, and for their distribution. And so now it's an opportunity. When the wall shows cracks in it, it's time for your neighboring enemies to start breaking down foundation and taking over. So we'll see. We'll see if this is a moment in time or is it something that's going to build and grow.
Yeah, I think I mean, I think you touched on it, I guess, on the show when you were talking about distribution and how Diamond really didn't do anything to evolve from just being a distributor. I think that they were kind of happy with what they were doing as far as it was comics. We have it on lock. You know, there is no competition really because they really didn't have any competition. And so they were able to decide and who was coming on, who was not coming on, who was going to be in our book, who's not going to be in our book, how much is it going to cost you to be in our book, and all that stuff. So I mean, there were stories, and I don't know how much of this was true. And you know, if you've heard this, let me know. Again, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. But there were people who would say that if your book was on the shelf, say at Midtown Comics, there would be like this Diamond, like undercovers, seeing what was on the shelves, and if it wasn't something that came from Diamond, they would basically reprimand the store for having those books on their shelves and saying, "Hey, you didn't get this through us. What are we doing?" And so a lot of stores were kind of like, you know, they were like apprehensive about having independent comics that weren't being distributed through Diamond because there would be random checks that Diamond would do at stores to see.
That's crazy. It's
now,
like,
I don't know how much of that is true, but I did hear that was a thing.
no, I know that stories were like retail vendors, comic stores would place orders, and they get different things that they didn't order, or they get an oversupply of back issues that they didn't request, or things will then they would have to pay the money to send it back, and package it up and eat the cost of shipping and all that other stuff. And you know, then Diamond was a monopoly, so they got too big for their britches.
It didn't matter. Yeah,
it created,
they could do whatever they want.
They were. It was almost as if they were strong arming the vendors, and so
Gangsters.
you know, it was just a matter of time before the dam breaks. You know, where people get fed up. It's anything in society.
Mm-hmm.
Every empire falls when the motive and the intention of that empire is to demonize or to dominate a people, a society, a culture, whatever it is. So at a certain point, the people will rise and say, you know, enough is enough. And I think that's what happened is that the industry started talking and whispering in the winds, and it took the big two to be able to say, all right, we're bouncing, you know, and that's what happened. And so now this creates opportunity. I think the indie community benefits from Kickstarter and crowdfunding, and the independent community hopefully will benefit from some of these companies. Hopefully they have a strong business model and they have the capital to back it. And the quality of the books, because like Comic Distro, from what I understand, also has print on demand. So basically you go into their catalog, they print the books based on the orders that they're getting, and it's shipped. So the first thing I would want to see is what was the quality of the book. You know, the printing quality. You know, because it might sound great, but the printing quality, and then what's the success rate of that print on demand organization? What's the turnaround for them? How long does it take from the point of order to the point of receiving the order?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So those are the kind of things I want to know is, you know, does the indie get a free sample as part of that deal to see the quality of the book? And is there a data sheet? You know, every organization has to have some sort of productivity spec to be able to determine what's happening in the warehouse from point A to point B. So what is the actual time frame? How long does it normally take? You know, and is that communicated ahead of time? You know,
I just went on Diamond's website, and they've it looks like you ever heard of Fair Square Comics?
no.
So Fair Square Comics Inc.'s exclusive distribution deal with Diamond Book Distributors. Fair Square Comics is a comic book and graphic novel publisher founded in 2019 by Fabrice Sapolsky, co-creator of Marvel's Spider-Man Noir and former senior editor of Humanoids. The company is driven to promote immigrants, minorities, and underrepresented creators in the world of comics.
Nice. Never heard of it.
No, never heard of it. But that's an interesting move by Diamond there, I think. I think that with I guess Marvel and DC out of their catalog, they are now going to give other comic book companies and Fair Square Comics, which sounds like a great initiative here to promote immigrants, minorities, and underrepresented creators in the world of comics, as one of the comic book companies that they have on their roster. That's great.
Yeah, and I think, sometimes you got to take a punch, a couple of punches before you realize, it's like the bully syndrome. Until you get punched in the nose, you realize, what, maybe I was a little too hard on the little fella. I don't want to feel that again. You know what I mean? It's like, that was a good hit. At a certain point, you have to start waking up and adjusting. Number one, the world has changed. I think Diamond needs a nap. Diamond needs, I don't even know if they have a nap. Do they have a nap? I don't know. I think they should have had a print on demand. They should have capitalized on that. So here's the little guys coming along and saying, we're going to do print on demand. Diamond should have had that. They should have double dipped. But they should also play nice because, you're making money off of these orders. It's in your best interest to treat everybody the same way, no matter whether it's a smaller retailer versus a bigger retailer. Customer service is customer service. I had a conversation with Johnny Boy, and he was saying all the Kickstarters that he's contributed to and he's backed, that we were the only ones that consistently are delivering earlier than the expected time frame. And he goes, and that means a lot to him. And I was like, well, it's about customer service. We intentionally try to get everything to everybody sooner than we expect you to get it. You expect to get it. Because we want you to be happy with we want you to get you as fast as we can, and we want you to be happy with it and hopefully return. A happy customer is a loyal customer. And, I think that's where sometimes when you have the old guard, it's hard for people to adjust.
Yeah. I still see, I'm on their website I still see Image Comics is on there, Dark Horse Comics, IDW. Marvel still looks like it has a few titles. Maybe they still, they still have a contract with them through maybe the end of the year or something. Dynamite and Boom Studios.
Marvel is straight through October. October is where it changes hands.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have 6 publishers on there, and I guess 7 now with the one that I just read. As far as publishers go. And then they have a bunch of, obviously Diamond Select Toys LLC, which has a whole bunch of, and it looks like it's more toys at this point.
Yes.
I don't know, AC Comics is on here.
So Marvel's deal begins in October, and they end with Diamond then. But you think about it, those are 2 big sources of revenue out the door. Huge.
Yeah, no, they are. They really are, man. They really are. Blizzard Entertainment is still with them.
Blizzard?
Yeah. I mean, they have a few. Obviously, it's not like they're going under. But, when you take out those big guys out of the picture, I think it's gonna probably give way to maybe more smaller indies getting in there.
Yeah.
And making things a little easier for them to get in there.
I think they're going to have to be a little more flexible. Before they had these stringent rules, it was hard for the little guy to get in there. I think they got to make some accommodations and say, you know what? If you can show me 4 consecutive issues right now and you're ready, we'll pick you up.
Well, especially since the level of the quality is so different than what it was 10, 15 years ago on the independent level. Yes. Like a lot of these independent titles that are out now, some of the stuff that we showcase on our show, I mean, these things are top-notch work, top-notch books.
Yes.
That should be distributed through Diamond and world, and not just through Diamond, but through distributors, so that more people can see and can experience.
Catch the Craze is partnered with NSC Roadshow. NSCLiveTV.com and 8 Marketing are proud to present the NSC Roadshow podcast tour. As a creator, come to be treated like a rock star as we take you on a tour with podcasters from around the world. Got a Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or a project you would like to tell thousands about? Come and get on the tour. Are you a podcaster that would like more creators on your show? Come become a tour stop on the tour.
Some of these books.
Yes, but we're going to bring in our guest right now. Hello there.
Hey, Austin.
Can you hear us?
There he is.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, you're just sideways.
I'm sideways?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah. This way.
Okay.
There we go. There it is.
There it is. How's it going?
I'm fine. Sorry about being late.
all
I
good.
definitely appreciate this platform.
Not a problem, not a
So-
problem. I'm Sam the Crazy Man, and that's George the Dreamer Medina.
What's going on, Austin? How are you, man? Good to meet you.
I'm fine, sir. I'm fine.
Good.
So, we saw your ads on Facebook, and so you saw the episode that I did on the Craze Intent or Less, and so I'm excited to learn about your new venture on Comic Distro. But before we even go there, we'd like to get to know you, and so let the audience know who you are and what you do.
Right. My name is Austin Aseuke. I'm the founder of Comic Distro. I'm also a publisher of Ego Manga, and Ego Manga has published a line of original English language manga for the past 20 years. We've also worked on games, localized of Japanese games like Vanguard Princess. We've also developed some apps as well for comics, like Comic Climax. It's a streaming app for manga, and it's also Comic VR. It's a virtual reality manga reader, comic reader in general. So, like I said, I've been involved with publishing comics for about 20 years, and I've worked with different levels of distribution, whether it's direct market, Diamond, or consignment based with companies that are like Borders, Barnes and Nobles, Tower Records. Those work with we're working with a distributor called Source and LinkedIn. I also distributed to schools and libraries through subscriptions through a company called EBSCO and other subscription-based platforms. And I also just sell my comics directly through our website or through conventions. So basically leveraging my experience as a publisher and selling to other publishers and other distributors and other retailers.
Mm.
And it's an amalgamation of everything that we've picked up over the years through Comic Distro.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, man. I think we were just talking about it with Sam, with everything that's going on today, I think this is a great time to kind of, come in and do what you guys are doing. And thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure. I'm happy to talk about the platform and any issues that you have regarding it.
Yes, I noticed on your LinkedIn profile that you have a lot of like web development and I guess coding or background, or tell us about that and your background.
Yeah, so I've also been a consultant for many organizations like Stanford University, Cisco Systems, Intel, various government branches of the government like the Department of Energy, GSA. This is my entire 15, 20 years experience, also in comics, but also in IT here in Silicon Valley. So I'm leveraging that experience, the technical background that I have as a developer, as a consultant, and want to apply that to various business operations that's needed for comic book distribution. So yeah, I mean, I've heard it before that many other people try to make a platform like this, but I guess certain aspects they're just missing. when it comes to technical aspects. So I'm hope that I was able to apply what I've learned as a developer onto this that may be missing all that. But because the bottom line is many people wanted an alternative to the conventional distribution system that we have now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So the I know that the website launches officially on April 18th, right? That's when you guys will have the official launch. And so I'm looking through the website now, and you guys have a lot of really cool stuff on there already. How many? And I don't know if you have this number yet, but how many comic book companies have already involved in with Comic Distro?
Well, basically, what you see there publicly is who's participating at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely have a few other publishers that are involved that are interested, but they just haven't put their content up here yet.
Gotcha.
So I believe there's probably about maybe 15 publishers that have sites that have our comics available on our platform now. But then there's like about another 15 to 20 people that have yet to upload their titles on there. And the type of publisher we worked with, we've engaged with just about everybody. Large companies, small companies, international companies as well. But the types of publishers that seem to be more receptive of our platform are definitely some publishers, independent publishers,
Mm-hmm.
and publishers from other regions of the world that can't get distribution help because there's just in a part of the world that various distributors can't handle, whether it's because of tax reasons or other logistical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like a small collection of publishers, and we hope to grow as more people adopt and accept our platform.
Yeah.
So
Right. So
it takes time and more people just being more comfortable in doing something that's different from the norm.
Sure.
so let's talk about the moment when you decided, hey, I think we need to do something different in the industry, and I want to get involved. What was that spark, and then where was your starting point? What were some of the things that the fundamentals that you had to start with?
Yeah, good question. Basically, we were working with Diamond for a long time, off and on, and all that. And there were just some periods where they just wouldn't take our work for whatever reason, arbitrary issues and such. But what really just was the last straw for me was when we were trying to release a graphic novel called First Squad. First Squad is a Russian manga, Russian-Japanese collaboration manga, and initially it was an anime that was released in 2009. It won a lot of awards. It's on Amazon. There's a lot of prestige with this anime, but this was the first time anybody's ever published it into English, into America, and all that. With all the collateral that we had, all the accolades that First Squad had, Diamond didn't want to pick it up for whatever reason. And that was just enough for me as a publisher to just say, there's got to be a better system than this, than having to work with either a yes or no from Diamond, and which can dictate your entire business.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this moment where we just had got to do something different. And then over the course of just conceiving the idea, we talked to other distributors, other industry players in comic books, and they had the same type of frustration with Diamond, with their gatekeeping model, and it just for a long time it just been killing the business for many small groups, small publishers, and whoever who's just trying to get their foot in the door. And what made everything clear to everybody that things need to be changed was with the pandemic happened, with Diamond stopping production for a number of months, and it's caused major publishers like DC to leave Diamond and go with another distributor. And we found out now that Marvel will be leaving Diamond soon to work with another distributor. And that whole situation with COVID-19 and Diamond, they just stopped production of their operations, and it caused many publishers that were reliant on Diamond to drop pencils and to stop working, to shut down. We can't have a system like that for comics. It's, people need to be able to keep going despite of Diamond's issues, whether either Diamond says yes or no to their work, or they shut operations off in general. There's just to be other ways that publishers can sell their books directly to stores, and it shouldn't be a commodity either. It should be just a resource. Like, basically, as a publisher starting off, I was thinking a big milestone in our career is to get into Diamond, and it's like that shouldn't be the case. To be able to get your books into stores should be just a resource, and it shouldn't be like a big milestone. It should be like a big hurdle that everybody have to overcome. I feel that it should be a resource that everybody have access to, whether you are a huge publishing company or just a startup guy that you're just doing it by yourself, or just a creator. Everybody should have to be able to sell their books to stores, because maybe some store somewhere would like your work. We feel that it just should be accessible for everybody anytime, and this shouldn't be a milestone thing. It shouldn't be a huge hurdle that would really kill the business life of anybody in comics. Right. So that's where Comic Distro came along. And again, since we've been publishing comics for 20 years, we knew how the distribution system works, on how to supply our books to stores and all that stuff. So we wanted to put that into a system, into a website system, so that it's easy for anybody to be able to get up and going easily.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that you told us there was that Diamond wouldn't give you a reason as to why they wouldn't publish the book. I think that's one of the most frustrating things is, okay, you're not publishing, but why, right? Is there a process that you guys have in place for vetting certain comics? And is there like some kind of, there are things that you are looking for in publishers that you will tell them, hey, listen, we want to pick this up, but it's missing this, or you need to work on that. Is there a process of that happening, or it's just a yes or no and that's it?
For Comic Distro, it's not. Basically, you just create a free accounts, upload your content, and then you're ready to go. We don't want to do any gatekeeping with anybody. Okay. And we want to give every creator, every publisher, every studio just a resource for them to get their work out there. But we do take a look at certain flagged comics that may have some issues with hate speech or pornography. So we take or any type of abusiveness that's would offend the community, and that's just not good in general. So we take a look at those type of things, but for the most part, everybody's welcome. There's no gatekeeping. We don't care if your comic is done by a 5-year-old, like the artwork or story-wise. As long as you can have your work presentable, ready for print, then that's fine with us. And then our parameters for print-ready content is available on our website. And the system won't pass your comic unless you put down certain information about your book, like the name of the title, the overview of the story, the number of pages, how much it's going to cost, just those basic things. Right. And we try to create our system to just help you along the way, so that your book is presentable, is print ready to go to print and sent to comic book stores as soon as a store wants to buy your comic.
Got it.
Right. So there's a lot of cookie crumbs there. So let's talk about the development of the website. What were some of the things that you considered when you were developing the website? How long did it take you to do it? And I know that you were beta testing it. All the kinks worked out, so when you launch, it's just a seamless experience for the publisher who wants to participate in this.
Well, the whole process has been a full year. We started literally, I would say, in February of 2020. The actual writing code and all that stuff. The whole conception started literally in January 2020. And even as of now, we're still work in progress it's a living platform. So the technical development of this, we basically, we wrote the code, we work with freelancers to help us who are better when it comes to writing server-based, database websites like this, and we basically leverage our experience as a distributor. We remember the operation process that we had to deal with in order to prepare our books for solicitation to stores, like as far as all the basic information that you need to give to the retailer, like the name of the comic book, the samples of your book, the actual book itself, and other details. So we put that business methodology into the algorithms that we were developing when we were developing the first series of builds. And so, yeah, so we started off with that. And then as we went along, we started to learn that there's other needs for the platform that we didn't think of before. Like, we need to have a section where we showcase articles for created by the artists. We wanted to basically say we wanted to have a face behind the comic. We wanted retailers and stores to know the artists as people and what drives them creatively on creating their books. So we felt it was important to have like a articles component to our platform. And we also wanted to put in a lot of social networking components as well. The ability for studios to share their comics on their own platforms on Facebook or social media. The ability for retailers to directly talk to the publishers about their books, for them to follow, to like, to add to their wish list, to rate, to comment. We wanted to put those in there. So we wanted the retailer and the publisher to definitely communicate with each other. That's what's missing with traditional distribution, is that comic book creators don't really talk to the retailers unless they have a one-on-one relationship.
Yeah.
But we wanted to have that on our platform. So we did that, and then we just learned things along the way, like that we need to have variant covers, allow for that to happen, and we need to just small things that we discovered with this with how comic books are released now, how comic books have evolved and everything. We wanted to add as much as we can onto our platform. And when we actually released the beta publicly on January 2021, we invited publishers to get on our platform, and we learned from them what should we add onto the platform, on what type of enhancements or things. And then when we reached out to retailers, we learned from them as well what we need to add, what type of attributes to the ordering process or anything to the site that would help the retailers. So we picked things up when we had the publishers and retailers test it out. The publishers, they really helped us a lot They helped us discover bugs and errors in our any aspect of the process. So when they found something, they let us know. These publishers are very involved. They're very committed in seeing comic distro succeed as much as we are, probably even more.
Sure.
So we're very appreciative of the publishers when they're testing out our system and giving us advice on how we should make things better, as well as the retailers. The retailers asked about having us have coupons and other discounts, all that stuff, just to make things better. So it's it started off from what we knew as from our experience, and then when we went beta, we just built the platform, improved it based off of the feedback from the publishers and retailers.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's very simple for us, like a publisher, to go in there and do our thing. And I guess we have our own logins and all that other information. If I'm a store and I'm on the other side of that, do I also have that same login where I can go in there and say, oh, I kind of like that project. Let me read the article about this person. Oh, okay, cool. Let me order 5 or 6 of these. Now, let's say they put that order in. How does that order now go from me, the publisher, to that store? Is it, walk me through that process?
Yeah. So when a retailer places an order for their stores, the order automatically is sent to our printing partner. They're called Robertson Anderson. They're based in the Sacramento area, California. And Robertson Anderson, they're an established comic book printing company. They've been doing it for a long time. We work with them for our books for a good number of years, about 10 or so years for our own books. So we know the quality that they can produce for comic books, graphic novels, manga, and that. So what happens is the orders are sent to them. They print the orders out. We approve the proofs, make sure that the comic book is good for print quality. Like there aren't any bleed issues or any type of missed page count. We make sure from our end that the comic book is ready for retail release.
Yeah.
And then they ship it out. So our Robertson Anderson, they shipped the comic books to the retailers. They handle the product fulfillment, all the logistics of the warehousing as well for the books. We handle the storefront management, which is the comic distro, and they handle everything else: printing, product fulfillment, shipping, warehousing, distribution, all that stuff. It's handled by Robertson Anderson because they have the infrastructure to do that as far as printing and product fulfillment.
Okay.
So, as a retailer, what's the cataloging for me? So, rather than surfing through countless amounts of publishers, are you guys archiving it in a way where it says coming this month by these titles? Is there like a section specifically for the retailers that show the new releases in one shot by all the publishers, or do they have to surf every publisher?
No. Well, on our main page, there's a section called upcoming books, and that's where they can see the books that's coming soon. And then there's an arrow key where they can scroll. Well, they can scroll to the right to see anything else from them coming soon. So that's how they see whatever is new and all that. That's on the main page.
Gotcha.
And we also send out monthly catalogs via email where it would show any new books that they would see and all that. And aside from that, the retailers, they can go through a category section where if they want to buy, let's say, sci-fi only books, they can go there and they can see our selection of sci-fi books. We also have a search box where they can search for titles for whatever they want. And for any title, let's say for it's coming soon, that they want to have in their store, they can add that comic on their what's called a want list, where it's on their it's on their accounts. It's there, and then when the comic is available for, if it's ready for release, the retailer is notified that the comic book is ready, and that they're at any time that they want can place an order for their stores. And throughout the whole time, the retailer, they can, like I said earlier, they can communicate directly with the publisher, the comic book creator about any aspect of the book. If they like, comments, dislike, report, whatever, they can do that.
So, how many retailers have you guys communicated to, and how many have bought into the into your organization?
Well, we're in the communications phase now. We reached out to about 2,000 comic book stores in the United States, UK, Australia, worldwide, pretty much. Whoever's a publicly listed comic book store, and that was a few weeks ago. And then recently, as recent as yesterday, we reached out to over 90 different traditional bookstores, independent bookstores that would hopefully want to carry a comic book or graphic novel. And what we did is that we just told them who we are, what we're all about, and we invited them to talk to us if they had any questions about our operations and all that. Few have, and those who have, they've joined onto the platform. And we're still answering questions and sending samples to retailers who ever asked for it. Right now, I can't say the full numbers, but basically we have I would say like a 10-to-1 ratio of publishers and retailers. For every 10 publishers that we have that signed up, we have about one retailer that signed up and already set up, who signed up for who have a pre-order for a book or whatnot. And we this year, we just hoped by the end of the year, we hope to have about 100 retailers. It's cool and all that, but we're happy about the reception that we have so far, and we answer questions. We understand the needs of what retailers have when they don't want to work with us. Yeah. Like, for example, some retailers, they only want to focus with diamond soap right now, and that's fine with us. And the other retailers have other issues and reasons why they don't want to sign up yet, but they want to still receive catalogs from us. So maybe in the future they want to place an order or whatnot.
Sure.
So we will send out catalogs to the retailers who are interested in our platforms, and those who actually signed up as members. The only advantage they have now is that they can place orders, and they can also talk to publishers and take pre-orders for comics they want for their stores.
I got you. So once you sign up as a publisher, Austin, do you get a list of these retailers in your login? Like, for example, if I sign up and I log in, how do I know what stores are in your system? Is there like a list that I can look through to see? Or if I want to add, like, I have a local store that I maybe want to talk to and say, hey, here's this, comic distro, maybe you guys need to sign up. Is there a way to see the stores that are on there?
Well, that's a good question. We're trying to figure out, we have that functionality within our system. Literally with a click of a button, we can display the retailers on our website. But we're trying to figure out the privacy for the retailers. We want to ask them. We want to ask them first. Is it okay for us to display your profile on our site? Mm-hmm. So we're still trying to figure things out at the moment, like the privacy of the retailers.
Yeah, maybe not publicly, Austin. I'm sorry to cut you off. Maybe not publicly, but to the publisher who is now getting involved and being in business with this retailer. Because the best way for me to tell people to go to that store to buy my book is if I know what store that book is in. So right. Not publicly, not for the public to see what publisher what retailer this book is in, but for the publishers themselves to know where, you know, maybe through a login process where only we see it and not the public, you know what I mean? Something like that. I think that would help us, you
Or
know,
even
just
like
communicate.
almost
I
like a
agree,
Google
but
map where it shows
I
a
agree, but
flag
Yeah.
by state. You know what I'm saying? You have like almost like Google Maps. You have like a flag by state saying that this many locations, you know, in this state or in this state or in this state. So that way, as it's growing, all they have to do is look at how many points of distribution are there, and it's more enticing to the publisher when they're signed on. You don't have to give them all the information. It just says, you know, Mile High Comics is on board. You know, Bucky's comic
Midtown
book store is
Comics.
on board. You know what I mean?
right. Well, what we do have now is that whenever an order is made, the publisher knows who bought the book.
Yeah.
That is something that's not done anywhere for distribution. Like we don't, as a distributor, I don't know what store bought my book. I don't know that, but
Sure.
we have a platform where publishers do know. They know who bought it, what account bought it, all that stuff.
Okay.
They also know who interacted with them. Like if a retailer commented on their comic or rated their comic or favorited or added it to their watch list, the publisher knows that
Gotcha.
information. But they definitely know who's engaged with their work, whether
That's
it's
sweet.
bots or maybe some type of other social interactivity. But nonetheless, I see your point about having a listing of retailers on a private level for publishers that logged into the site to see the publishers that are the retailers that are available. We do see your point on that. So perhaps like in the near future, maybe close to launch, where the user can log in. The user being the publisher, when they log in, they can see the listing of retailers that have an account on Comic Distro, so that they can, as a publisher, directly engage with the retailer and directly cold sell their comic book to them or cold pitch their comic to them. I hear you. I hear your. It's a good suggestion, and it's still a level of privacy that I'm really thinking about, but nonetheless, it is a component. It's something that we can definitely add in there after login. Thank you for the suggestion.
No. Listen, thank you guys for doing this. I mean, the fact that you guys are taking the plunge into this market of, you know, distribution is great, especially for the little guys. You know what I mean? Like especially after, you know, some of the things that we've heard about Diamond and things. So no, you guys are doing a great thing.
Well, I'm trying to. It's also for me as well. I'm a publisher, and I want to get, as a publisher, I want to get my books out there, and I don't want to have to deal with the circus with the Diamond. So I'm thinking of it as myself as a publisher, and I'm glad you or other creators can use this as well. But I'm using this service as well. So what helps sell my books out there. That's I'm thinking of from not that I'm being selfish, but it's all about trying to get our books out there and all that, and we have this tool and we want to share it with everybody else because we feel that everybody should be able to get in the stores and not have to deal with any type of challenges that people like Diamond probably throw at us.
Right. So you have, let's say you're at San Diego Comic-Con, you're hosting your first panel with a room full of potential clients from publishers and retailers. What's your elevator pitch, and how do you convince everybody to take a chance on you?
Well, basically, we just want to help sell their comic books, and we don't want to get in the way of them having a business. And we feel that distribution should be a resource. It should be like another tool, like a resource like Google search is a resource for everybody. If they want to search for something on the internet, it's there. You don't have to sign up or pay for Google search. So we wanted the same for distribution for comic book retailers or whatnot, comic book publishers. They shouldn't have to go through a hurdles or climb mountains or achieve some type of arbitrary approval by anybody. If they want to have their books in stores, let them have it in stores. As long as it's a strong, solid, robust tool that can do it for them in a very correct way. Simple as that. And also for the publishers that actually have another distribution model, we're not trying to be an exclusive distributor for them. We can work in conjunction with their other commitments with whoever they're working with. We're just a tool. We're not, as a tool, we also aren't taking ownership of anyone's work. It doesn't belong to us. We're not the publisher of their work. We are just a resource, another platform. So we don't take any, like I said, we don't take any ownership or any license of anybody's work that they put on their platform. They're just using us to get to what you guys need to do, where is to get your stuff into stores.
Yeah.
And we want to help. That's it. But that's all we want to do. We're not trying to say this is a collaboration between you and us, like Ego Manga or Jack Black Publishing. It's a Jack Black comic book. I'm just using Jack Black as a word, but it's just ABC Studios, and ABC Studios want to get their work into Space Cat stores. That's it, and that's that.
Yeah, and you're just the source through which to get it there. That's all. No, that's great.
We are just the hammer that you need to get your job done. We are the hammer. We are the screw. We're just another tool. To get your job done. So that is what we would tell everybody at Comic-Con.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Austin. It's been amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us an insight into the new company. I can't wait. It's very exciting, man. Good luck to you guys, and hopefully just continue to grow.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate your feedback, your thoughts about how we should improve our service. So we're gonna definitely look into your suggestions.
Absolutely. We'll be following it closely, and you're always welcome back. Any progress that comes down the pike, let us know. We represent the independent community, so I know a lot of people are watching you closely and seeing how you guys maneuver in this unpredictable world of comic book making. But thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you, Ray, again.
Take care, Austin. Have a good one, man.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.
Talk to you soon. So that was Austin. I gotta keep moving this stuff.
No, that was great, man. Good insight into what they're doing.
Yes.
It's very interesting, and it's another avenue.
Yes,
and there's a lot. It's not exclusive. There's he's just another avenue to get to where we got to go.
And there's definitely a lot more questions that I have for him, but I don't want to overwhelm the guys. His first time on the show, but even the cost.
Money. I was going to ask him about how much.
All that stuff, but I was really going to go into the weeds with that. So maybe we'll do a follow-up show down the road when they go from beta to live, and worked out some of the kinks, and we'll follow up. So right now he says a couple of dozen are involved, and let's see if that went up into a couple hundred. So we'll follow up in a couple of months and see where they are. And but if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up. If you have a question that you think we should have asked, put it in the comments below. If you'd like to see Austin back on the show, let us know. Put that in the comments as well. But yes, thank you again, Austin, for being on the show. Thank you for heeding my invite. This was another good episode of Catch the Craze.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, this was a special show of Catch the Craze where we had no Get Your Meds, and we had no indie news, and we had no plugging. We didn't plug anybody today. So, but again, thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment below, share with a friend, listen to us on Apple Podcasts and all the other platforms out there, and follow us on those platforms. If you're listening to us because you can't watch us, please follow and leave some comments, rate us, give us some 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever kind of stars they have, just give it to us. But anyway, with that said, I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out.
It's just it's not.
Crazy.
Acquiesce. No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him the other.
Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh my
He described me. He said, I'm the.
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. On Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl,